All right, there you go. It's quite the brim. There we go. Let's go more Indiana Jones and sombrero. Let's see. It'll do what it wants to do. All righty. So I was thinking about focusing a little bit more on squat flexibility and strength. All right. So there's a few different things that would entail. I'm just gonna move this pinata over here. I was looking for Cinco de Mayo theme decorations. Got pinata, got the kind of sombrero, got some Doritos. That's about it. All righty. Let's get that wide V sit. This is kind of our standard warm-up check-in. Hey, let's see what's going on here. All right. Get a long forward hinge, a reach here and breathe. But it's also feeling a lot like summer too, folks. It's kind of nice.
There is.
All right, got it like that. How do you like training in the heat, Rick?
I like it.
Hey.
I feel like everything gets warmed up a little faster.
Yeah.
Kind of get things going. And then let me have you go off to the side. What's going on, Augie? How are you?
Good to see you.
Good. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just starting with some flexibility here. Give me a wide sit, a little bit of a side, and I'll focus on just a little bit of what I see everyone doing here, and then we'll go from there. If you're noticing some different things, small shirts, hats, it's all for a reason. We're trying to just theme out these little these different sip and stretches here. So this is our Cinco one. We got it going. The stretch is for stretch. The other S is for sip. So that's water, Doritos, which I have one of those, tequila, whatever's handy, whatever helps you relax and stretch out here. And this is our standard check-in here, right? It's an inner thigh stretch. It's a little bit of hamstrings if you get that reach, and just go as far as you're comfortable with there. All right, I'll have everyone change from that into a bent leg in front, and then a little bit of a bent leg in back. I'm theming it out a lot on squat flexibility, and the reason being able to do squats, both in life and in the gym, is important for several reasons, but it also requires a lot of different aspects of your kinetic chain, of your flexibility throughout different joints to all work. So this one is for the glutes and the hips here. So you got that bent leg in front. We're leaning into it. If you can, you're almost squeezing this glute here and back. And then breathe. That's the other really important part here. Take a lot of long, deep breaths here. Inhale. Even longer exhalation. There we go. And yeah, I think it is, as Rick and I were just talking, it's going to switch the other side. It is a nice warm day. And I think part of that does help out with the flexibility. If you have no AC, you have the automatic Bikram yoga session happening already. So that's good. It's a plus. But yes, a warm muscle will extend and move a little bit easier. I think I've found that from experience. But it's not bad to stretch cold necessarily, right? It's a good way to check in and see how things are doing. But as always, don't do anything that feels painful besides just a stretch there. But we will work through a full body stretch here and maybe cycle through a couple times. If I could everyone go from that into a cat camel, that's toes tucked, hands on the ground. Give me an extension, that's arching the back, that's pushing the butt back. And then a flexion here, that's like a cat, tucking the butt under, pelvic tilt, tucking the chin, and then reverse that position here. All right, and feel free to put some background music on as long as you mute yourself there, or listen to the birds or the trees or the cats, whatever's handy, or my voice. Oh, there we go. I like it. There was a mariachi sighting last week here. Let's get two more. Not at my house, but I was talking to a friend. They're out in Capitola, so on the beach there. How it's all painted like it's like a whole nother country. It's really nice. And then they have like the painted buildings there. They had this mariachi get together there right off the beach. Pretty good stuff. All right, let's get one leg forward, one back, tuck the toe and back, pull the hip underneath, crunch down. You want to get your shoulders right over your hips, right over your knee, and then lean in. You got that stretch right here on the hip flexor, forward and back. This is probably, I think, the number one here to really get flexible in both the lower back, front of the hips, and just the anti-sit here. So I think that's huge. Inhale and exhale. Yeah, those mariachi people work hard. I mean, that's like, I think that's functional strength. It's like they have to carry something, and then they're either like moving something or blowing into something. That sounds very difficult. Multitaskers there. All right, same thing on the other side. Here we go. Half kneel, tuck under, crunch it down, leaning in, leaning back. So giving you the other view here. Just if I had my the courtesy to tuck my shirt, you would see that I'm trying to keep my belt line as even as I can, right? So if that tilts either way, I'm trying to keep that as even as I can. Forward and back and breathe. Perfect, folks. Here we go. And if this is pretty light for you, that's fine. If it's hard to balance, also fine, but we're getting the hips stretched out, still easing into it a little bit here. All righty. And then if we could go right from that into a child's pose stretch. So that's going to be toes tucked, hands out in front, butt goes back, arms are long, and then breathe. All right, so I overheard my niece's Zoom call today, so I heard that, I don't know, anybody can answer if you want. It is a little bit of a free form here. I don't know if you guys know the purpose of Cinco de Mayo, besides the obvious, a reason to eat, to have tacos and tequila. But besides that, I think it's a historical reason. All right,
That's right.
behind the back.
It's a battle against the French, actually.
There it is. Wow, look at that.
Well, my family's from Mexico, so that's cheating, right? But also my French buddy, he calls me every year. He's like, "Hey, feliz Cinco de Mayo, Augie."
Let's go. Let's go up and down here with the rotation. There you go. That's good stuff. Yeah, so that was a good little factoid that I actually wasn't sure about there. And it kind of almost sounds like the it's almost like the Mexican version of the Alamo, right? Like what Texas is to Mexico. It sort of reminds me of a little bit there. But yeah, not Independence Day, which is the common misconception. I think a lot of the Independence Days are in September, perhaps, I think. I don't know. Might be wrong. But I know Guatemala's is. I think a lot of the Latin American ones are. All righty. Let's go to the other side here. Same. So we're getting an upper body rotation. How about you, Jody? Did you know that?
I did not.
Oh, wow. There you go. Factoid for you. Now you are a true Mexican American there.
Mm-hmm.
And as my friend Edward James Olmos, star of many shows, including Selena, says, it's really hard to be Mexican American because you have to be more Mexican than the Mexicans and more American than the Americans. Exhausting. Direct quote. All right, folks, nice work there. All right, let me have you standing or sitting, either one works. If you have like a small chair, this could work like that. If you don't, just imagine you have a chair, but just remind yourself that there isn't a chair there if you're imagining, because I'm gonna have, yes, squat deep, you got it, Augie. So we're going for that sumo squat stance. So the reason I like the chair there sometimes is because you can have something to target, right? Have a butt target to shift back towards. And it's a little bit of safety net, right? So if I'm like here, I'm like, oh, okay, I can still get that flexibility. And if it's not available to you, meaning it's not there, then you can just stay up real high. And once that flexibility increases a bit, I know, I see you, Jody. You can drop down a little bit more and then breathe. So obviously it's a ton of inner thigh. It's maybe some lower back as far as flexibility, hopefully not pain. And then it's also the calves. I mean, that's a really big one on this. And that's usually the big stopper for a lot of people. So if your toes are way out and your knees are caving in, it's usually calves. So you want to try to turn your toes in if you can, especially that big toe. Tell that big toe what to do. And then usually what you want to have it do is push in, right? And then drive those knees out and breathe. But yeah, that's why I have the blocks or the chair or something like that's a way you can work some of that, and that's fine. So ideally something below knee height is good, but anything works as long as it's not painful. Another way of doing this is just having, you know, something to hold on to and sit back, like a pole or, you know, whatever people have around at home, you know?
A wife.
There you go. You know, people have those fireman poles, right? That's what those are for. You climb up, climb down. 2 stories. Makes sense. 1 story is fine. All right. Standing up, shake that out a little bit. Let's see if we can get a little bit of dynamic movement here. So we'll go for that leg swing, forward and back. So this one, brace the core, reach that heel. We're getting hamstring. And then if you get a little bit of a bend here, you're getting hamstring and you're getting quad as well. So this could be a little bit of balance, but if you have the flexibility and balance, then try to really kick as high as you can and back as far as you can, both directions with the bend. And then think about that big toe. That'll be our big theme here. The big toe of the foot that's on the ground. I feel like for me, it wants to turn out. Some people it turns in too much, but just having that tripod foot, big toe, little toe, heel. All right, other side. And make sure you are mindful of your surroundings, walls, furniture, pets. You know, from what I know, they don't like getting kicked too often. You know, breathe it out.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff, folks. Good. Now we got that dynamic movement out. It's mostly just to give you a break because we did a long static stretch at the bottom. Let's go back into it. Let's go into it with a toe touch. So you're gonna put your hands over your head, as close as you can, touch your toes, wherever that is. It could be here, it could be all the way here, it could be palms, you can put your face on your knees, whatever works. But just get as deep as you can. Soft knees is okay. Not painful, but make it work. And then I do like to see a little bit of hinge, which means like your butt goes back a little bit, which is nice. So if you feel like it's really straight and stiff and it like doesn't really move here, think about pushing your butt back towards something behind you. Like you're trying to, I don't know, close the car door with your booty. That's the best thing I can come up with. And breathe. That's happened, you know. You got to do it sometimes. Your hands are full. You're taking groceries out. It's a lot of things. You don't want to make another trip. It's going to take too long. All right, standing up here. Let's go feet wide now. Toe touch. Down into a sumo squat. And then just try to bloom or stand up like the mighty flowers that you are here. There's a lot of good flowers this time of year. So toe touch, squat, get deep, keep the heels down, and then hands up, and then bloom. There you go. All right, speaking of dogs, there we go. I got one. All right, standing back up. Oh, face lick, nice. All right, one more here. This is Buddy. I think he's 14 years young. He's getting up there too. Got the white muzzle. If you checked out my LinkedIn page, you can see him on the e-board. Well, I'm on the e-board. He's just running. Very impressive though. My joke there was you can teach an old dog new tricks, huh? Yeah, get it? Him, me, both of us. Yep. All right, worked hard on that one.
So funny.
Was looking forward to pressing post, you know. All right, let's go back to that deep squat. So with this one, let's just find a stance, right? Wherever that is. I like shoulder width, heels right underneath you, arms out in front of you, hats on if you have them, and then just find that depth wherever it is. If it's chair, go for it. If it's not chair and you got something deeper, that's fine. And then hold the bottom. Breathe. Try to get comfortable with it. And then try to get tall, elongate that spine. And then push your big toes into the ground and then dig out of there. I think reaching up high does help with getting More extension in that spine right there. And if those knees feel cranky, use that chair, rock back, and then come up. That's huge. So we're here, hips back, rock back, stand. Otherwise, just, use the ground there. There you go, Mark, looking good. And if you have that bottom position, meaning this is I'm pretty relaxed here, I'm hanging, this is chill, stay on those heels, rock side to side there. You can get some calf flexibility off of that. There you go. Nice. All right. Shake that out. All right, let's go for a this is going to be a world's greatest stretch, we can call it, or the easy stretch in yoga, so a staggered stance. Let me move this out of the way here. So a long staggered stance, hands on the inside of the leg. We also call this one the Spider-Man, spider person, spider mammal. We don't discriminate. There is a spider pig, if you guys have seen Into the Spider-Verse. It's a good one. Peter Porker. I didn't make that one up. Well, that's pretty good. All right. Reach the elbow of the inside arm, meaning the one that's closest towards the leg. Reach for the ground, come back up. Reach for the ground, come back up. So our big marker with an exercise we're using to check our flexibility is the squat. And we're using all these other exercises to help lengthen that out. That's the big learning piece here. There'll be a very short questionnaire, test, if you will, at the end, just so you guys know. One more. All right, and switch. Just kidding, there's not gonna be a test. I don't know how to do that. I wish I could. I'll work on it. I wanna do the Zoom polls though. I like those, the little polls, those are fun. All right, back leg as straight as you can. Front leg forward, hinging back. Reach the elbows, or with the inside elbow towards the ground, and then rotate. Inhale, and then exhale. All right, one more there. All right, we're gonna use that one. And then similar to that first exercise we did, or one of the first exercises we did, that 90-90, but the pigeon stretch. So you could try to lay your front knee down. If you can, imagine you had a mat, you make a box with that front shin, back leg is straight, and then you hinge forward into it as deep as you're comfortable with here. You want to imagine that your front knee is pinned to the ground, and then you're leaning back away from it. Your butt's going that way. We're creating some traction there. And then we're breathing. And then if it feels super tight, it feels tough, breathe it out, try to work through it. Unless it's painful, then feel free to adjust. But think happy thoughts here. Dinner time, soft kittens, that kind of stuff. All right, other side here. Unless you're allergic. Then it's, I guess, hairless cats. Those guys aren't allergy prone, right? I don't think so. Scary looking though, that's the only thing. Would you ever have a hairless cat, Jody?
I think I'd pass.
Yeah. What about like one of those dogs? You know the ugliest dogs? They say like it's like the ones with like 3 hairs.
Partial balding, yeah, no.
Someone's gotta love them. Someone's gonna love them. All right, folks. Plank to down dog. We're gonna go into that. So if you can, hands, elbows is fine if we have some wrist issues. And then we'll go back to the squats here to finish. So it'll be our big grand finale squat. Pike up, heels down. I had a partially bald dog. His name was Max. His lower back was like not feeling so bueno. That was his version of balding, I guess. I don't know. He wore it well though. I liked him. He loved him. He didn't like showers though, also. So we used to say, in the spirit of Spanish and some of my personal history, it's we used to say agua. That was how we got him out. It just means water. So basically you yelled water and he runs outside. He's like, I'm out of here. So if you wanted him to get out of a certain area, you go, awa, and then he's like, he just jets out. Good trick. All right. Perfect, folks. All right, here we go. We got time for another hip flexor stretch. So a couple options with the hip flexor. If you have that same box, hey, maybe put your back foot on there if that knee feels okay. Tuck under with the glute, crunch down. So we're getting this into a deeper squat position here, or a deeper hip flexor stretch position, sorry, so that we can get a deeper squat. Main thing is the tuck, crunch down. Yep, if you have it, you can use that hand and knee as a lever there and breathe. There we go. All right, nice. Your dog's fur looks especially voluminous today, Jody.
Oh yeah, he had a blowout, Brazilian blowout.
Nice, nice. I could tell. Well, it was worth it, obviously. Let's go and switch to the other side. Here we go. Back foot up. I was really confused when I saw those, like all those, what do they call it? Blowout bars, blow dry bars. It's like, what do they do? I don't get it. Like, so you go in there and like, I kind of get it now. But, you know, at first I was like, what are they doing? What's happening? I get it. Get styled. It looks nice. Can't do it yourself. I'm in it. I obviously haven't participated or done it myself, but I get the idea. Good idea. Breathe it out. Breathe it out. But yeah, I'm a little hyper right now. I'm not gonna lie. I had half a churro before this. A baby handed it to me. You know, you can't. When kids hand you stuff, it just feels wrong, right? It's like, no, I don't want this churro. All right, folks. Last big squat here. Shake it out here. I like the idea of maybe some marches here, just to use some of that movement you just did there. If you can, a little bit of knee to elbow, a cross body, use some of that flexibility, stay loose. Perfect. All right, so it wasn't even a churro. It was part of the caramel that came off of a churro that a baby had on its hands. That's what I had. There you go. Fine, you drug it out of me. All right, here we go. Feet wide. I don't know if that's better or worse. I'm not sure. Hands out. Big deep squat. Woo! Find that bottom. That feels good. It's like something happened. And then all the way up there. Yeah, if you have a dog or a lightweight available, sometimes having that there helps you get into a deeper squat. Oh, he's coming in for the demo. Nice. There you go, Augie. That helps. Watch. I'll do dog and then no dog. So dog, squat, knees out. Look at that. I have a taller squat. Tons of flexibility.
It's the Augie doggy.
Nice, the Augie doggy. All right. And then no dog. It's okay. It's not as upright. I gotta really fight. There we go. All right, folks, let's finish off with a quad stretch here. Nice and static and tall. That was really good. If Cinco de Mayo isn't about squatting with your pets, I don't really know what it's about. I think that's it. We can make our own holidays now. All right. I feel like now more than ever, pets have been used as weights, you know, as training tools, equipment, if you will. You know, there's no equipment. Grab a small child, an animal, bucket of rocks, you know. All right, folks, good. And then we'll finish with some upper traps and shoulders here. If you can get the hands interlocked behind the back, roll the shoulders down and back. Really push your hands down towards the ground. And then get tall, organize yourself where your toes are straight, shoulders are back, and I'm trying to get a head tilt here. Side head tilt, long, deep breath. And then exhale. So that's the upper traps here. That's what we're working. And then we'll floss the neck a little bit, chin down, and then chin up. different kind of floss. Not the dance, not the dental hygiene. But we're getting movement going, that's it. All right, other side here, same thing. Side head tilt, toes straight, organize yourself so everything's tall. And then floss it out, up and down. Very nice, folks. All right, and then we talked a lot about calves here with that planked down dog and getting that deep squat stretch. If those ways of stretching your calf aren't working for you, another way that I really like is if you have a wall, sturdy bookcase, a person that's willing to stand still for a while, both toes straight ahead, pump that knee forward and then back, and then you're getting that back heel down. Really important thing is to keep that back toe straight ahead there, and then you're gonna feel that calf stretch. I'm gonna push into my imaginary wall there. I'm tensing up my glute. I'm getting some hip flexion. I'm driving this knee forward, tracking over that second toe. Those are my train tracks that I'm tracking over. And then we'll make it a mobilization by going forward and back. It's a mobilization because you'll start with a certain amount of mobility, and as you do it more, it gets looser, opens up. All right, other side. Got some ankle biters there, Jody. Forward and back there. Keep pumping, drive that heel down. So this is stretching that big muscle in the calf, the gastroc. It's big on most people, not me though. I got the small ones. That's really the only reason I work out. It's for my calves. You know, been working on those for years here. I know. It's the obvious elephant in the room. Here we go. All right, nice work, folks. Shake it out, stretch it out there. Appreciate you coming on a national holiday here.